Hi, this is Gina Dinas Bait, and this report is current as of Friday the 10th here. Things have been pretty steady here around town as far as the bite goes. Up here on Lake Mendota, there's still a bit of a perch bite. I wouldn't say it's a crowd pleaser by any means, but there's a handful of guys over here that are finding perch periodically. Some of the places they've been finding them are on the weed line in Warner Bay and out by Governor's Island. Occasionally a little deeper than that, out to about 20, 21 feet of water out there. Over on the west side of Governor's Island towards the state park, once in a while I hear some fish on that weed line. Otherwise, the west side of the lake and University Bay have been fairly consistent. Over on the west side of the lake by the Hatch Cover and Marshall Park, Spring Harbor, I've been hearing there's 20 foot of water pretty regularly to 26 feet of water. And in University Bay, I think it's mostly been on the weed lines from what I've heard. Smallmouth bass seem to have tapered off a little bit this week. At least I haven't heard as much action. But typically this time of the year they just move out a little deeper on the rocks, fish the bars out into 20, 24 feet of water, 18 to 24 foot of water. Live bait seems to be more of a bait of choice at this time of the year from a lot of the guys. And Dunn's Bar, Burley Bar, Second Point, those types of places. Catfish action seems to have tapered also in the last week to 10 days. Haven't heard as much about that. Don't know what to say. Over on Lake Monona, the bluegills probably still the most consistent action on the chain. A lot of small perch along the weed lines. Once in a while some guys are bumping into some decent perch. The bluegills have moved from the weed lines, or starting to move from the weed lines, out to a little deeper water. I've heard them out into 20, 21 feet of water in places, but they tend to be on the bottom yet when they're out there. They haven't really come up and suspended, at least not from what I've heard. Muskie action, I've heard a little bit on Lake Monona. Some of it's right out in front of Obrick Park, typical hot spot in the summertime. And I started to hear some fish on Waubesa and some of the spring areas down there. Panfish on Waubesa seem to be pretty quiet yet too. I haven't heard much for bluegill or crappie. Even up in Mud Lake they tell me that bite's pretty slow right now. Kegonsa, also I haven't heard a whole lot down there. A couple guys I know go down once in a while. They catch some nice bluegills and crappies. They just don't catch very many of them. I think that's all I got for you guys right now. Lake Wisconsin seems to be producing some walleyes, but in the slot, not a lot of eater-sized fish, but some pretty decent, slot fish. So give me a call if you have any questions. 608-241-4225. Thanks, guys. Bye.